Hi, folks. Welcome to episode 163 of the Wealth on Any Income podcast. This is where we talk about money tips, techniques, attitudes, information, and provide inspiration around your business and your money. I'm your host, Rennie Gabriel. In past episodes, we spoke about how to understand the numbers from your business, how to measure the level of pleasure based on where you spend your money, how to track your money in 5 to 10 seconds, and what determines how close you are to complete financial choice, and how to run your business without being in your business. Last time, we had Janelle Cook, who took her 40 years of wellness experience to the pet industry. Today, we have as our guest, Chris Quintana. Like me, Chris is an international best-selling author and philanthropist. She is also a financial strategist, estate planner, and real estate investor. She is also a non-traditional financial planner with a gift for breaking down complex financial jargon into easy to understand and easy to implement strategies. She's passionate about sharing her knowledge to help others create wealth and financial freedom. Chris, welcome to the Wealth on Any Income podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. So happy to be here.
Well, we're going to get right to it with some questions. So tell me a little bit more about the work you do and why. Why are you doing this?
Well, I am like you said, non-traditional financial planner. And the reason I do what I do now is because about 2011, right after towards the end of the recession, I lost my job.
Oh.
And I had been investing in real estate because, we were buying houses, pennies on the dollar, right? That was the one thing I knew how to do. After I lost my job, I realized that I didn't really have to go back to work because I was making enough for my passive income. So I decided I want to travel and actually go. And you're talking about philanthropy. You're talking about like not doing nonprofits and being able to volunteer. I was able to volunteer during that after I was let go. And I never really thought about being a business owner. Like I always thought I was going to be an employee because I needed health insurance. However, at that point, I realized that I knew something that a lot of people around me didn't really understand. There was a lot of wealthy people that I knew that were struggling, that were having to file bankruptcy, because they were so over leveraged, and they were coming to me for help. Like, what? You just got let go and you're traveling, like you're going out of the country for a month. And at that point, I decided I needed to help my friends, help other women that were around me, help them out. And I started educating on the things that I knew. Then I thought, you're not supposed to have all your eggs in one basket, right? So I decided if I'm not supposed to have my eggs all in one basket, I need to start investing in other things besides real estate. And then it was becoming like a bidding war anyway. So I wanted to try something different. And I wasn't really good with the stock market by myself. And so I started talking to people about financial advisors. And somehow I ran into this financial advisor that was a nightmare. I didn't know it at first. He was just amazing. He had all the right things to say, everything. And I kind of fell for his, he was a Christian, I'm Christian. I know I wouldn't treat people, certain ways. So I believed him. He ended up taking advantage of me and what I had. And at that point, I realized that I never wanted anybody else to help me with my money ever again. I would do it myself, and I had to learn myself. And so I started reading and doing so much research. And I had the time because I wasn't working. The more I learned, the more I realized that our financial system and even our government, like it works against us. There's so many landmines that have been created as something good for us, but they're really landmines and people are falling in them every single day. We think we're doing all the right things, but they're not necessarily the right things for us to be doing. They're actually some of these things are putting us more behind than, if we would have been going the exact opposite of what everybody else was doing. So this just kept going on. And the women were coming to me. I started a women's club for finances. I met somebody and they wanted to franchise it. Oh my goodness, can we do this? So we had opened about 6 or 7 of them are across the United States. Just these groups for women. It was called Financially Sassy Women's Club. I met a woman that was a financial advisor, a woman that was working because she wanted to, not because she had to. And she was doing what I would love to do, but I didn't have all the credentials. I mean, she was a president of a great big financial firm, and like she was just so intelligent. And so I was a little intimidated by the whole financial industry with all the jargon and all that stuff. So I kept just bringing clients to her. I was like a financial advisor's like dream come true, just bringing clients, because I was bringing all these people that I was teaching stuff to her. And she's like, well, why don't you just get your licenses and come work with me? And I was just inside, I was just like, I can't, I'm not that smart. I'm not smart enough. I don't understand that language. I just don't get it. And she was like, I'm going to mentor you because you have no idea like how much money that you're just putting in my pocket. You have to do this, Chris. And I said, well, I don't need to make any more money. I'm good. And it was not that I was wealthy, but I was financially independent. Like you're talking about, I was financially free. I didn't have to work, but I thought, okay, well, I can learn from her because she said she would teach me. So I started learning and went to school. I started taking all the classes to get the licenses. And the more I learned, the more frustrated I got with our system, because I realized at that point, this jargon, they could be talking to us or speaking with us in, layman's terms. They don't have to use all of this jargon. And I remember studying for one of the securities tests, and I asked her, what does this mean? I don't know what this means. And she told me really simply in layman's terms. And I kind of like, I got so frustrated. I got so mad. I'm just like, why can't they say that? And she says, well, if they said it like that, people wouldn't need financial advisors. They wouldn't need, if we learned financial education in school, there's so many things that are so simple, like it's like you don't have to make a lot of money to become financially free. And, that did something inside of me. It made me angry but in a way that like, I realized that all of this kind of was a blessing in disguise, because I wouldn't be where I'm at now if it weren't for, being taken advantage of and having to start learning these things, because these things aren't taught to us in school. And then having her as a mentor and showing me, and explaining to me what things meant, and made it so where I could go and teach people. And it all started out as an educational type thing. And then the more I learned. Oh, I was telling you, I only had my license for just a little bit. After a while, I felt like I was helping my clients with my arms tied behind my back. That's what it felt like, because I wasn't allowed to tell them about all the things that were actually making me money. They have to have their money in the stocks, bonds, mutual funds. And the government, it's like we have the 401k scam, it's like, I feel like that was, it's sold to us as it's this amazing thing. We don't have to pay taxes now. We can pay them later. But it's like, who wants to pay taxes on great big pie, versus the seeds? So it became my mission to start, like you, showing people that you do not have to have a lot of money. It's all about, it's how you manage your money.
Yeah.
And then learning or knowing somebody like myself, or maybe you, just knowing the secrets, learning the secrets that the wealthy are using, and take them to the, average Americans, because there's so many loopholes, and the tax code has been written with so many loopholes. They don't like to call them loopholes, but I call them loopholes because it's plain English. It makes sense. If you know about them, they can be pretty amazing, and they can help you. So my goal is to help my clients not only make more money by using alternative investments and alternative ways of growing their money, more contractual versus the roller coaster stock market, but not only help them make more, but keep more.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so funny because, so the things that we do are so much in parallel. And one of the things that I say very often is wealthy people are not limited to stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. And a part of my program is built on what I call the 3 secrets of the wealthy. One being attitude, the second being the forms that we use so we know where our money's coming from, where it's going, how we're doing. And the third is, what are the investments that are available to us? Like, besides real estate, it could be oil and gas, it could be equipment leasing, it could be self-storage facilities, it could be trust deeds, it could be tax liens, it could be so many other things that provide advantages. And I, we have some money in the stock market, and at the same time, we're not worried about, is the stock market going up or going down, because what we're doing is using our portfolio like we use our apartment buildings. We are using covered call option writing, which is like getting rent on our stocks.
Right.
Just like I get rent from the apartment buildings. So it doesn't matter if it's going up or down. We're taking advantage of that and generating an income from the volatility.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what I always say. It doesn't matter if the market's going up or down. If you know how to pivot, you make money whether it's going up or down. And that's the same with the real estate market. People, it's like, are you afraid? You shouldn't be doing that right now. It's like, actually, when they're telling us we shouldn't, that's probably when you should look into maybe doing it, because
yes,
they don't want us to do.
Yeah, I've got a lot of great quotes from Warren Buffett, and one of them is, when people are fearful, be greedy. And when people are greedy, be fearful.
Right. I mean, he's one of my favorites also.
Yeah. So, well, let's ask a few more questions, if that's okay.
No, that works for me.
Yeah, like you're aware, I donate 100% of the profit from the work I do educating other people about money. I donate to animal and veteran charities. Tell me about the cause that you love and what they do.
Well, I mean, there's a lot, but the
one of them I know is
most dear to me is wild animals that are, being affected by the rainforest being burned down, cut down, whatever they're doing. And I feel like it's the Western people, really. I mean, we're the ones that are getting these people in these poor countries to take down their rainforest so that we can use it for, like, palm oil. For instance, my favorite is, ever since I was a child, I loved orangutans. And I didn't realize that they were critically endangered until, I became an adult. And that first trip that I told you, when I lost my job, I could never travel like very far, because when you go out of the country, it's like, takes you, like, especially when you're going to Southeast Asia, it takes you like 30 hours to get there in the plane. So it's like, that's already 2 days, it's like you're already, anyways, that was my first trip, was to go and spend some time volunteering with the orangutans, and getting to meet Dr. Leakey, one of Dr. Leakey's angels. And so now that is one of my causes that I care about a lot.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you so much for that. We don't have a lot of time, but let me ask you this. I know people will want to get a hold of you because of what you said, what you're doing, the experiences that you've had. Is there a valuable free resource that you can direct people to that'll further help them with their financial situation?
I have a toolkit on my website that is free. If they go to it, it's cqconsultingservices.com, and you can just put /toolkit, or you can just go to the website, check it out, and see some of the different things that, our company does, what we're doing for people now.
Oh, perfect. I will put that in the show notes. People can just click on the link and get right to that toolkit. And is there a question that I should have asked you, because we didn't cover too many, that would also give some additional value to the people listening?
Let's see. My question, I don't know if it's a question, or just know that the less you know, the more they make. About this, that's the name of my book, The Less You Know, the More They Make. And it tells people, like, just look at all the things that you've been taught, and that we've been brainwashed. I feel like we've been brainwashed to believe a certain way. And it's like, I just want to open people's eyes to see what's really out there, and how they can change their life if they do that.
Chris, thank you so much for being on the Wealth on Any Income show.
Thank you so much for having me.
And to all of those who are listening, if you'd like to know how books, movies, and society, just like Chris was saying, programs you to be poor and what the cure is, then log on to wealthonanyincome.com/TEDx. You'll hear my TEDx talk and can request a free 9-step roadmap to complete financial choice and philanthropy, and receive a weekly email with tips, techniques, or inspiration around your business or your money. And if you'd like to see how you can increase your wealth and donate to the causes that touch your heart, please check out our affordable program, Wealth with Purpose. To my listeners, thank you for tuning in. You can listen to the Wealth on Any Income podcast on your favorite platform, and please rate, review, and subscribe. Until next time, be prosperous. Bye-bye for now.